Okay, guys, we might pop up our preview for the Wednesday night meeting in Launceston. At the moment, it's a soft 6. Had a fair bit of rain over the weekend. Pretty good day today, but there is rain forecast tomorrow. Just actually had a look at the weather forecast here, so you can see that for Wednesday, like very high 95% chance of rain, and meant to virtually rain all day from 8 a.m. until sort of end of the day. So I think we'll work on the basis that we're probably not going to get better than a soft 6. So and on a card that's got a number of short price favourites, it's probably not an ideal betting medium, but we'll sneak through them. Excuse me. The 2-year-olds, GG Bengala with a scratching of second over looks the one. Won a trial very impressively at Longford in the trial. Who'd it beat? GG St Nick, it's an older horse, came out and ran a very good second last week and beat it easily. You imagine it's the one. What date was that? 9th of November. Might just have a quick look at it. It's probably not a betting medium. I'm pretty sure it was trial 3. Yep, that's the one. So it is in front. So it's not, hasn't got an abundant early speed, even though it did lead. Like, it's ridden pretty hard to lead. It's strong to the line. And as we said in this horse here, GG St Nick came out and ran very well in a tougher race last week. So puts a bit of a stamp on the trial form. So it does look the one, but probably going to be short price. Triple Strip also trialled well at Longford, won a trial there last week. So might be the other one in contention. The second, Century Arrows on the quick backup. Had 5 starts for 5 seconds, which might be some cause for concern, but when you analyse the form, it's just been beaten by Penstock, Clean Achiever, Jubilance. All 3 of those would be short price favourite here. Well, if you take Penstock out of the race last week, it beat Shaborn Star by 3 lengths and the rest of them by 5. Similar to the start before, huge gaps to 4th. So the form stacks up. Race on speed, make its own luck. As mentioned though, if we're getting a wet track, it's had 3 starts on the synthetic and 2 on good tracks. So whether you want to dash in at the shorts is another thing. There's a few in the race, like his Russian was okay first up. His Nibs boxed on pretty well. Both the GGs okay. Far Word was a little disappointing, but sort of out to the 1400 it looks ideal, and Gone Girl was pretty good last time. But the one I'll probably have something on here is his Nibs. It, as we pointed out in the replay last time, like, I struggled to set beating the favourite, but we should be getting good value a place.
Jason.
So this is over 1200 metres. So it is here in the green and gold with the gold. So over 1200. So it's drawn the outside gate. So if you just watch it from here, like it hard ridden going nowhere. Looks like it's going to run last on the turn, but it is worthwhile looking at its last 200 metres. It's definitely racing like a horse needing more ground, so it goes from 1200 to 1400. And it sort of digs in here. Now look, here's GG's Bulldog in the race. I think over 1400 metre run, you'd probably say his Nibs has gone a fraction better. So just from a betting perspective, I'll have obviously main bet will be a place on his Nibs with a few coins a win. Outside gate mightn't actually be the worst place to be given the weather forecast. So yeah, happy to have something on a drum. obviously. But as I mentioned, difficult to see Century Arrow being beaten. The 2100 metre race, Moorcroft, since he's got out to this trip, has been super. Just looks a real progressive type of stayer. He's the one in the same race, Chief Navigator. There's plenty of merit in his run last time as well. We just stuck to his guns very well after doing a power of work. So do give him a legitimate chance, actually. There shouldn't have been the gap between them last time that there was. And if the track does get wet, probably expect to see an improved showing from GG Black Prince. So they're the ones I'd be surprised if 2 or 6 didn't win it. Just think at the likely odds, Chief Navigator might get me for something, as I thought they probably went almost as well as each other last time. So yeah, and as I mentioned, I like doing this before any odds are up, as it tends to factor into your thinking sometimes. So if you do it, you've just got a clean frame of mind. Fragment last time was super in defeat. Fractionals very good. It's on a night, at the end of the night, it was hard to make ground out wide. Savage the line. Handles wet tracks, drawn wide. It's, he does look the one. The one query is I'd probably prefer him at 1400 than 1200, as you're going to get back, drawn wide. But does plenty of speed in the race with Westerly Hayes. Also got GG's Queenie, Boart. So should set it up for him. If the rain does come, Trusted Warrior ran last first up, but expect a vastly improved performance. Written Addictions first up in the state, hard to assess. Sav's Finale's obviously in the mix, especially from barrier 1. Yep, pretty good field, but still keen that Fragment will be winning. The 5th, now this is obviously the highlight race of the night, the 3-year-old Cup. You can probably make a case for 5 of them, and when they've met over the duration, there's probably never been too much between. Like I think if we go back to the Elwick Stakes last year, Patina Arena, Daraza and GG Lynette, there's about half length between them. GG Lynette and Daraza, there's about a head between them last time in Hobart. Patina Arena, if you look at a 2-year-old racing, she was always hard ridden to keep up, so she's dead set miler. The only time she actually got to settle in a race was in the Gold Sovereign, which is also the only time she struck a soft track. So even with the weight, she's jogged around twice at the trials, and it's, without knowing, it does seem pretty obvious that because she had the trial about a month ago, that they've just kept her fresh for this first up, as obviously she'll be at looking at the features over like the Guineas and the Oaks, etc. down the track. So got to respect her. Mr. Songman, the boom came off me a little bit last time, but I can still forgive him given how the race was run. And the sectionals, he's gone at least as well as the 2 as Daraza and GG Lynette. But he meets them sort of probably about 3 kilos worse at the weights. And the other thing with him, he hung in badly last time. Even if you go back to his first 2 wins, even though he bolted in both of them, when he hit the front, he ducked in hard against the rail in both of them. So, and in this type of race, you can't afford to be not going straight because it's just that deep. But still, huge respect for his ability. Nordic Thunder was one we pointed out last time, ran a sneakily good race. Made up good ground in fast sections. He might be the blowout at big odds, as he does look like a horse. His trial's always been good. A couple of times at the races he's been a bit disappointing, but I think sort of if it's ridden cold, he'll hit the line. Daraz is just super honest. Outside gate, as I mentioned, might not be the worst thing in the world. GG Lynette, it's just what you see is what you get. She handles all track conditions, puts herself on speed. She also drops from 59 to 55.5, so she's the one at the weight. City of Dreams had 2 starts and bolted in both of them. This is obviously a huge step up. GG Trendsetter, barrier 1. got beaten by Il Regalo last time. This is a lot deeper, but beyond speed, and if there's any on-speed bias, it's not the roughest. Il Regalo, probably this time last year was the boom 2-year-old, and a couple of the others sort of outshone her, but it was a tradesman-like win resuming. She's super honest, but I keep going back to Patina Arena. Weights and that type of thing probably till you know, but it's obvious that this is where they've attempted to step her up. The one start on the wet track, she dead set bolted in. And if she wins this, then she is obviously in for a stellar season. I'm going to go G. Lynette second and Daraza third. As I mentioned, it's just one of those races. I hate leaving out like Mr. Songman, City of Dreams, and I will also probably have something on Nordic Thunder at big odds. If the fence is playing okay, you're going to have GG Trendsetter kicking up, so it should get a soft run on the fence. So, it's just one of those races you're not keen to bet in, but sort of really looking forward to watch. So that's probably where I'm at with the 3-year-old Cup. The Conquering Stakes, virtually impossible to go past Hell of a Street. Obviously doesn't need any introduction. On speed, makes his own luck, handles wet and dry. Recent Victorian forms, super. GG's Double J, he was very good in the Newmarket late. His wet track record's good. You can see he's had 9 on the soft for 6 wins and 1 on the heavy for a win. To have him as the main danger. On Wesley, been unbelievably good this time in. Won 5 from 5, including the Newmarket. Whilst the Newmarket was a handicap, and this is weight for age, apart from Lord Da Vinci in the Newmarket, the rest of them virtually carried level weights anyway. A couple of question marks with him. He's stretched out to the 1400 here, and he's 0 from 8 on wet tracks. But the one thing to keep in mind when using that stat is he's an entirely different horse this time. He'd done a few of his runs on soft ground, have actually been very good. And so we'll go 1 from 2 from 4. Box of Frogs in the zone at the moment, and if the rains come, enhances his chances. And Killen Falls was very good in the Newmarket as well, and the extra 200 metres seems ideal. And looking for a bolter, GG's Golden Girl hit the line very well at huge odds last time, and might be getting back to something like a best. So yeah, but it's another one of those with a pretty much a standout favourite. A few races like that. Happy Halloween, just races on speed, sort of between, really makes some chase from the sort of 600 and takes them out of the comfort zone. The captain's going to sort of make sure has company up front this time. Silverbolt, with the claim, he's actually doesn't get in that badly. Sort of, he's been going around in benchmark 82s and gets back to a benchmark 72 with the 3 kilo claim. Might be an improving. So his soft track record's pretty good as well. And It's a Battle's one we pointed out last time. He's up. This is big rising class, but barrier 1, he'll be hitting the line. So we'll go 3, 1, 9 and 4. And in the last, Biscay Barb was one we pointed out last time, had no luck. When I say no luck, it got forced to go sort of 4 or 5 wide, a long way from home, and stuck to its guns well. Barrier 1 by the last might not be ideal, but still very happy to be on. Grand Mount Lass just been a revelation lately. I think it was 100 to 1 when it won at Devonport 5 runs back, and as you can see, it's by its figure form. It's just been in the zone. Axion, ultra consistent. And Ollie's a star back at favourite track at Launceston. Expect improved performance. And GG Grand Lodge, sorry, is the other one I should have mentioned. It's ran very well in a couple of litre bias tracks recently, so yeah, but happy to be on Biscay Barb in the last race on speed. So even if barrier one's not the place to be, it should be able to manoeuvre to the right part of the track. So happy to be on there. But as I mentioned, we're going to have some shorties: GG Pengala, Century Arrow. So Moorcroft will be shortish, but Fragment will be shortish. Obviously the 3-year-old Cup will be good value, but it's an opinion race. Hard to be bullish about any of them. Hell of a Street will be shortish. Happy Halloween will be shortish. So we'll just pick a couple out to back. Instead, just with the predicted weather forecast and the likely prices, I don't really want to launch into too many of the faves. A lot will depend on watching it on the night and how the track's playing. But I think if you back his nibs a place and just have a few coins a win, you get a good run for your money. Chief Navigator in the third. And was he in the last? Biscay Barb. So they're the ones. So and I'm pretty confident Double J will run extremely well in the Conquering and give Hell of a Street a bit of a fright, but I'm definitely not tipping him to beat Hell of a Street. So yeah, so that's where we're at. Sort of main interest will be watching race 5. It's been my favourite race for years. It always, when there was a full field in it, even back in the day, it was always a race where you could find 7 or 8 winners to come out of it as well. So that's where most of my interest will be. It's not a great punting card, so if you don't mind the shorties, there's probably a few you can multi up. But yeah, just from my perspective, I'm not a great favourite punter. So anyway, guys, we'll wrap it up there. There is a meeting at Devonport on Friday, so we'll pop something up for that. So until then, we'll leave you with it, and we'll chat to you then. Cheers.